So before I begin, I just want to sort of talk about what I'm going to be talking about while I talk about what I'm going to be talking about. That's a very confusing paradox, and I will let you stew on that for a second. Stew. Could go for some stew right now. Anyways, I wanted to sort of discuss my top 10 things I look forward to in Pokemon X and Y. Obviously, it's just around the corner, and I think just, you know, talking about what could be might actually make it. You know, we throw out the ideas in the universe, and some Asian guy catches it and throws it into a Pokemon game, and that's how the world was created 10 years ago. Ah, what a beautiful romantic story. So anyways, I'm just gonna be talking about some generic things I'm sort of looking forward to. They might be released, or released information, or not released at all, and I just wanted to talk about that because it'll make me feel good about myself, because I like expressing things. Expression is the key way to happiness. Unless you don't own a key lock, because that's gonna be awkward, just having a key for no lock. Number 10! Mega Pokemon. Now this is really obvious that I was gonna say this. I just want to put it at the beginning. Let's throw it out there. Mega Pokemon. I really want to see what they do with it, why it's there. It hasn't really been explained why they Mega Evolve. They hold this item and they're sort of thrown into the mixture of flower and fire. With Mega Pokemon, they're sort of bringing a new design to these really random Pokemon, and I want to see if there's a correlation between them, because what does Garchomp, Mawile, and Ampharos have in common besides possibly being fan-favorite Pokemon? I really hope that there's sort of a correlation between this Pokemon, that there's a reason for them doing this, not just because it's the fan favorites. Number 9, the graphics. Alright, so we're at the top of the list so far, and I guess it's pretty much customary to talk about very obvious or superficial things, but I do really want to touch upon the graphics. I mean, Pokemon Platinum started bringing this nice look to it, and then Black and White brought even nicer things. I mean, something that's really memorable to me is just that bridge. When you walk across that, the atmosphere, it's really nice, and I hope that Pokemon X and Y can make that wonderful immersion. Number 8, the challenge. Now, if you know me, I've put myself in many awkward positions in Pokemon. That sounded bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and continue on without noting what I said there. But yeah, as you know, I really do like challenging myself in Pokemon games, because when you grind too much, it just gets really, I don't know, it's not too fun just sweeping people. So I really want to see the challenge. Hopefully they balance out enough EXP so you can sort of just have a full team of 6 and not be too underleveled like Heart Gold. I feel like there wasn't enough EXP in there, and it was just sort of obnoxious, and you would have had to grind or something. Although I did skip a bunch of trainers, I'm just saying, yeah. Don't blame me entirely. But yeah, also the challenge. I really do like when they sort of make the AI not use Tackle 10 times in a row against my Gengar. That's actually not happened, but I'm just saying, to that effect, I really would like them to have a much more competitive mind when it comes to the Pokemon, or comes to the Pokemon battles, of course, but not make it too challenging to where it's obnoxious to get your Pokemon to level 50, because it takes you 4 days. 24-hour shifts. I've been through that. Number 7! Alright, let's get this one out of the way. The new Pokemon. Who's excited? Who wants to cheer with me? Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, the new Pokemon. I'm really excited for the new Pokemon, seeing what they do, what moves they do. Obviously I'm just gonna throw that in there with their new moves. Just what they'll put into the mix, different fairy types and such. Just the new Pokemon, and seeing what their designs are, because honestly I wasn't too pleased with the Black and White Pokemon. Really, I like the Platinum, all that stuff. It's sort of, for the first 4 generations had this feel to it, and then the 5th one it felt really different. All the designs seemed completely different. There were obviously Pokemon I liked, and there were ones I disliked, just like all the other generations, but there was just, I think, a different style to it. And I want to see this sort of style. It's already looking kind of nice with the new Pokemon that have been announced, but I'm not entirely certain all of the Pokemon, and I haven't really seen my dude. You know when you see that Pokemon and you're like, that's him, that's That's the guy. I cannot wait to see him. Number 6. Now, this is just kind of speculation. I'm not 100% certain, but what I'm looking for, cutscenes. I know that might sound a little bit weird, but I kind of want to see if they're going to do anything different, sort of make some new cutscenes. You always have the Pokemon games have this, oh, all these guys are standing here, text is there, you're reading it, and then you're sort of feeling it too, but I'm just looking if they're gonna use the 3DS to its potential and throw in some cutscenes, something nice, just anything that make me a little cheery. Number 5! So I've listed a lot of things so far, and for number 5, we're gonna go with new characters. I really love the characters in Pokemon. You have sort of Gary, who has that smug, oh, I'm gonna beat you, I'm better than you. You felt that personality from him. And then you started getting further and on, you go to Black and White, you have all these amazing characters who have, like, attachments to their Pokemon, like N and L and Kira. That's the wrong thing. Whoops. But anyways, you have all these wonderful characters, and it just seemed to become more and more abundant as the time went on. You had the 4th generation, you had like Cynthia, everyone, you're just interacting with everyone. Then you had the 5th gen, you're interacting with so many people, having this amazing story, learning all these new things, I guess, I don't know, Pokemon, teaching you morals. But you would just meet all these wonderful people and it would go further and further every single generation, and I cannot wait to see what new characters, what new personalities we can find and enjoy. Number 4. Quests. I feel like the quests sort of progressed more, you had a lot more depth to it. That was sort of, hey, we gotta fight these guys cause they're bad, and then you learn something more. So you see, every little inch of the quest sort of progressed into this greater story, and I cannot wait to see the new little quests. And I'm still calling it quests, I don't know if that would be the right term. Let's go with it though. Let's humor me. Let's humor each other. I will try to make you laugh, and maybe you'll truckle the fairy dust. That's a term. Number 3. The music is just one of my favorite things out of Pokemon. It started off just a little bit cheerful in the first generation with some intensity as you progressed further. Then you got to the 2nd generation and it amplified that. It just sort of made it better. Then you got to Ho and you started getting these nicer tunes that you might hum on the bus or in the shower or while you're buying a peach cobbler from your neighbor next door. And then you got to the 4th generation, and then there was just so much. There was dramatic and melancholic songs, really nice ones. And then the 5th generation. I really look forward to what new music will be in this game. I wanna listen to it, I wanna feel its full body and just love it. Number 2, the cities. I say cities specifically because it was the exploration of the cities. It was like the architecture to some degree, and that was really apparent in Black and White when you had these big buildings. You had Black City that sort of seemed somewhat empty, but then beautiful at the same time, this empty shell that was really nice. And then got to certain just other places and everything became really cool. And I personally am someone who really likes architecture. I just like walking around and looking at buildings, and that's what I like. It's this exploration throughout Pokemon and seeing these wonderful, wonderful places that you can just enter and look around. That's something I like about open world games such as, I guess, Saints Row and like Grand Theft Auto. I don't even like playing the game, doing the quests or anything. I just like driving around and exploring and obeying by the speed limit and stopping at red lights like a normal person. Cities. I really look forward to the cities. Number 1. Number 1 is the story. This is something I love about Pokemon. It got better and better, from almost non-existent in the generation, just a simple guy, just trying to be the best, to people trying to just destroy everything because they're sad, to people wanting to make the world a new place through wrong ideals. The story of Pokemon has just progressively gotten better and better. If you are gonna stop playing Pokemon because you don't like Mega Pokemon, because you think the first generation was the best thing ever, then you are sorely missing out on the story of Pokemon. It got better and better, and I cannot wait to see what the story in Pokemon X and Y is. I really hope that they don't get lost in just trying to make it graphic-centric, to making it about the new Pokemon, about just being a game. I really do hope they focus on the story and make it a really good one, just so I can say that Pokemon, from generation to generation, has gotten better. And if the graphics suck, if for some reason I have to grind my Pokemon to level 100 just to beat the second gym, but the story's amazing, I'll forgive them. I don't care. Because I really do love Pokemon. I love what it's brought to me for years on end, years upon years. I've just always looked forward to it. I've always looked back on it and just, it's given me so many amazing memories, and I feel like the story is really what's keeping the entire series together. So I hope they don't let us down.